What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to your mom's house. Wait, there's actually a podcast called that.
Wait, is Tom Segura behind me?
Dude, I said that shit before it was like out of my mouth. I was already like, wait a minute, that exists. Like, that's already a real thing. I was just being immature. Anyways, I mean, that's how they came up with that name, right?
I got my jeans high and tight. No worries.
Hell yeah, you do. Just like my fade, baby, and my mustache. Come on, mommy. Anyways, I don't want to get started on that. What about what's that guy's name? Hard Rock Nick.
I'm aware of this guy.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he sucks.
I wish he. Ooh, what do you think I was gonna say?
Something you probably shouldn't be saying on here.
Facts. I wish he was a nicer person. I've met him once, and he was really mean. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Thank you for checking us out tonight, hanging out. We're doing SHOPcast episode, I don't know, 68 is that what I saw on the thing?
68.
68. We watched Annihilation this week. It's a cosmic horror movie based on a book. In the book, I think I've read once. I cannot remember.
Trilogy.
I think I started reading it and then I switched over to Audible, and I haven't read it on my Audible app yet. Okay. But anyways, It's got Natalie Portman in it and Jennifer Jason Leigh and what's the dude's name?
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac. I was on a roll there for a second. My brain was like, gotcha.
Gave you a second to spit it out.
But yeah, man, it's funny because I mentioned it being in a horror movie to Chris, and he was like, I hadn't really thought about it like that. And that surprised me because I hadn't thought about it as anything other than a horror movie. So it's one of those movies that crosses it crosses borders into different genres. It's definitely heavy sci-fi. I'm not going to say it's not. It's ridiculous. Of course it is. But yeah, in my opinion, this movie is very scary. And I forgot how weird the ending was.
Yep.
So buckle up. We'll try to explain this movie. Heads up, there's going to be spoilers for this one in this video. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, see you later. But if you don't mind spoilers, we're going to talk about it. This movie's a few years old at this point. I don't think it's harming anybody to talk about it in detail. Before we get on to that, I would love to know how you guys enjoyed last night in Soho. Josh, you said you had a couple of problems with it, but overall you enjoyed it. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
What was the issue you had with it?
It was, I'm trying to think back now. I wasn't really prepared to talk about last night. So
no, I just was curious because I had a very specific issue with it, but it wasn't a big deal. But I definitely there was some really spotty CG in that movie that I was just like, what? But otherwise, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what you were talking about when I was watching it because I remember you said that, but all those sequences are sort of like in her head, so they weren't made to look realistic. So it didn't. I was really wondering if that
might have been like part of the reason why it looked that way, but I don't know enough about the director to know. So I just was like, all right, well, if that's something that at least for now is my opinion. But yeah, it definitely could be talked about enough to where I go, oh, never mind. But
yeah, I thought it was more of a stylistic choice than just
okay.
Purposely bad CG. It's like, you know, maybe could have been done slightly better, but nothing that bothered me that much. I thought there was a section in the middle that kind of dragged a little bit, and they kind of overused the ghosts a little bit.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it, man. I'm not really ready to talk about it that much either. I just remembered that y'all saw it, and I wanted to ask you because we hadn't really talked about it much.
Yeah. And I know that's what Chris said. The same thing about the ghosts is like, there's one too many sequences where she just gets surrounded by ghosts, I think.
Yeah, especially at the end. Like, it's just a bit much. Like, even when she's, I guess we don't want to spoil that one, maybe. But
yeah, we'll talk about it later. I need
there's
to
a fight
it.
scene, and yeah, they just kind of go a little bit too hard in it, I think. I mean, she's struggling with reality versus the dreams she's experiencing. So I get it, but yeah, I just felt a little overly used. But yeah, it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Annihilation a little bit. I think the only thing about Annihilation that I really have an issue with is the strangest thing. But I've seen the movie I think 3 times now, and I remember distinctly feeling this way the first time that I watched it. So I'm a little surprised that I still feel this way, because I can get over it fairly quick with stuff like this. But Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaacs are married in this movie. They're together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terrible chemistry, dude. It's so unbelievable that I was like,
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
Really? Okay.
But like, she cheats on him that you don't really see in the movie. They bring it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think some of that beginning scenes and flashbacks to their relationship is a little bit on purpose, because he cheats on her, and that's kind of her whole point.
Wait,
in
he
going.
cheats on her?
I mean, she cheats on him.
Okay, I was like, wait, what did I
Sorry.
miss?
And that's kind of her whole reason for wanting to go to the. I mean, she feels guilty. Like, all the people that go into the Shimmer in the end, I mean, they're all kind of like people that are
Self-destructive.
dealing. Yeah, they're self-destructive. They're dealing with. They all have their own issues, and that's kind of like her thing. Is she feels guilty for cheating on him, and that's also his reason for going on the mission to the Shimmer in the first place. Was
Because she was cheating on him?
she cheated on him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes. That's not quite what I was talking about.
Okay.
I was more or less talking about their on-screen chemistry. It's just terrible. Like maybe that bleeds into what I'm talking about, but it just wasn't believable at all. Like, they didn't look like a couple at all. Like, I understand what was going on in the story, but like, and maybe it's meant to be that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But every time I watch it, I go, oh man, I don't
there's
feel
no-
like she gives a crap about him at all, even though she claims to in the movie. And I don't feel like he's actually mad at her at all. And although there is a part in the movie where, when he comes back, he's not quite himself. So there's reason for
Yeah.
that too. And maybe I'm just needed to get explained a little bit more, but I just hated them. I hated that pairing. And maybe it might just be that I really don't like them as a pair. It just didn't work for me at all.
Yeah, they are kind of not an odd pair, but
No, they're an odd pair.
I do see the mismatch a little bit, and maybe I'm just projecting the plot into, what you're seeing as actual, like, no on-screen chemistry. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit of both, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, there's really only one scene of them together. Like,
Yeah.
them actually together. Because everything else, Oscar Isaac is not actually himself, so. And that
Yeah.
scene, I mean, maybe it's not great, but I don't really have any problems with it.
Yeah, it irritates the shit out of me. Whatever. I don't care. But that's like really my only real gripe, really. Everything else I thoroughly enjoyed. There's a little bit of CG that's not perfect, but I mean, with a movie that's got that much CG in it, if you're gonna nitpick CG, then you may as well just not watch it, because that movie's mostly CG. So I just went, cool. I liked it. I mean, the alligator or crocodile, whatever it was very clearly not real, but it looked badass. So whatever.
Yeah.
I thought I liked, dude. God, this chair is making so much noise. I'm sorry if y'all can hear that. Oh my god, how terrifying was the bear with the woman's voice, dude? Like,
And that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. Like, that's creepy as hell.
see, my favorite scene in the whole movie would probably be when the girl's walking off and she's got all the shit coming out of her. She's turning into a fucking plant. That seemed so scary to me, but she was so not at all phased, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it looked kind of bad, but it was awesome, dude. Like, it was, I liked this movie a lot. Josh, what'd you think? Is there anything that excuse me, I'm sorry, that you really liked or didn't like about it? Any plot holes or something?
I think I introduced you to this movie. I feel like I let you borrow it or something when it came out.
I can't remember. That
Um,
wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah, I love this movie. I saw it in the theater, loved it.
Damn, I think you did actually. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, pretty sure. I think I let you borrow my Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think
when
I
it
was like,
came out.
was like talking about watching it, and then I didn't, and then you had it and let me borrow it. I think that's exactly what happened. That's wild, dude. Man, my brain's like, nah, we're good. We don't need that memory. It's all right. No worries. What? No? Oh, you need to eat? Yeah, it's okay. We'll eat later. It's all right. All right. No, we'll forget, but we'll be all right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ever since I saw Ex-Machina, I was super excited for whatever Alex Garland did. So
wasn't Ex-Machina like way before this, like by a couple of years?
I mean, 2 or 3 years before it.
How in the fuck did Ex-Machina look so good and hold up? Because it does. It holds up.
It's much less CG. I mean,
Yeah.
Is it much? Is it that much less? I'm mostly talking about the fake girl. That's a lot of CG, but it looks awesome, dude. Like it looks so much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's
dark movie.
Yeah.
Like, this one's very
And I'm not,
bright.
dude, I'm not complaining. I'm just like, I'm actually praising Ex-Machina more than I'm talking crap about Annihilation. It just looks so awesome, man.
Yeah,
that movie, that's probably my favorite sci-fi movie, period.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me, for sure.
I'm not a big sci-fi guy, so I don't have like the knowledge, and I don't know quite as many movies, but like that one, and I think Upgrade would be up there for me. Like those are the kind of, oh, they're both AI movies too. That's weird. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, so in Annihilation, so basically what happens, you know, we're 20 minutes in. Let me tell you what happens in the movie real quick. Fucking, you have a couple. One's
they're both ex-military.
Oh, they're both military?
Yeah. But she is like a professor or something.
JK,
She's a biologist.
Military couple, not scientist, just kidding. They're like going somewhere, and don't they get like wrecked, and then they take him?
Yeah, he comes back from the Shimmer.
That's right. He comes
just
back.
His mission of being gone.
Yeah, at
for
the very
a year.
beginning of the movie, he goes on a mission, comes back, they reunite, they're going somewhere, and then basically fucking feds pull up and surround him and take him and her. They take both of them, but they take him and like they put him somewhere. They take her, and then that's where you start to learn about what's going on with the whole synopsis of the movie. And it's Jennifer Jason Leigh is like head of this group who is studying this like meteor, I think is what it was, that came down and like hit, and it produced this like, the best way I described it was like if you took one of them big ass bubble blowers and you put it over a city. That's what it looked like. It looked like a fucking big ass bubble. And I thought, why don't they just go through and go, you know, problem solved. But once you walked into that, things started changing. Like your compass wouldn't work. You can't get signal into the to your like phones, radios, and shit won't work. So they were having people go in and look at this stuff and try to like figure out what it was. They were really just studying it, as far as I understand the movie, but they weren't coming back. And they were sitting in, I think, 3 groups so far, and none of them came back except one dude. They're trying to figure out how he even got back. And so Natalie Portman's character meets this group of 4 women that are going to go into the thing, and they're all basically giving up their lives to go into the Shimmer. They're going to go study it, try to get back out, led by Jennifer Jason Leigh. And so she offers to go with them as well. Doesn't tell them that the guy that they found that came out was her husband, which I think was a big plot point. And once it doesn't happen, and you know she doesn't tell him, I think that you could easily mistake that as not a big deal, but it's like the biggest deal. Like that's like one of the biggest things that happens in the whole movie is her not telling him. And then they go into this Shimmer thing, and I'm paraphrasing. It's much more complicated than this, but they go into this thing and they start like walking through this jungle, and they're just looking for things. And did you notice that the further in they got, just real subtly, things were like all of a sudden shit was just way different. Mm-hmm. Like it went from I liked it, dude. I loved that part. I mean, the
closer they get to the lighthouse, the
stronger
lighthouse. Everything becomes.
Yeah, Pattinson and Defoe are there waiting on them. They're jacking off and shit and beating birds. And plot twist, all of a sudden it's black and white, real square ratio, and you're like, what's happening? Willem Dafoe's screaming at one of them. Fucking Robert Pattinson's
like, why am I in black and white?
Right? Robert Pattinson's ducking one of them in that fucking goopy shit that's got the bird thing in. Oh man, now that is a movie I'd watch.
Somebody should splice these 2 movies together.
Fuck yes. I'd buy that for $1. Anyways, when they go into there, things start to change. And they start to change rapidly, and you just start to see these weird things happening. And I mean, really, without just telling you the whole movie, just shit starts happening, dude. Like bad things start to happen. And they're just trying to figure out what this thing is and what does it do. I still don't understand the damn movie. I've seen it 3 times, and like the last quarter of the movie, I still go, I don't really know what happened. But it was crazy, kind of bleak, and a little real scary. Like it was just Dude, when he had that fucking flash grenade, I was like, oh, I forgot about this. This is terribly sad. I looked over at Chris and she was all like, wiping her eyes. Like, that was a rough scene, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And then his like double walks in front of the camera.
Bro. Yeah, that was a good like reveal. You're like, oh. Yeah, man, the movie was it was a slow movie, but it wasn't boring.
Yeah.
That's
Kinda
the way
like
I can describe
Ex-Machina.
this one. It was a slow-paced movie, but it if you were paying attention to what was going on around the characters, then there's a lot to look at. So like, if it was much faster paced, you'd probably miss a bunch of stuff that you would like to see. So I think they did a really great job with the pacing and the storytelling being at different speeds while working simultaneously, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie's not about the action. It's really
No. It's definitely it's like a science fiction mystery. It's like, what's going on here? Like, why is this happening? And I was watching it, and I was thinking about Chris a lot watching it, because I know you're really, really big into I know you like sci-fi too, Josh, but I think that's Chris's favorite stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And I was just thinking, like, man, I was curious. I mean, that I was hoping that you were really enjoying it, man. I had a blast watching it, and it's a bleak movie, so having a blast watching it is kind of a odd thing to say, but I really enjoyed it a lot. I forget, Natalie Portman's one of those actors that, like, I think the reason that I feel that they didn't make such a good couple is not even his fault. I think it's her fault. She looks so unhappy all the time and everything, dude. She never looks happy, like, ever. I've watched her since she was in The Professional, and I've never seen her look happy. Like, so she's a miserable character on screen, and I have a hard time watching it.
I definitely see what you mean, but I like her as an actress. I think she.
Yeah, I do too.
No,
I
she's
don't think
good.
this is her best role, but I think she does pretty good in this role.
Have you seen The Black Swan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how I feel she's meant for shit like that.
Yeah.
No, she's a great actor. Like, as far as like her abilities, no, dude, she's top notch. I just think, what's up, Kitty? I just think that she needs certain roles, and I think this wasn't a bad role for her either. I think that the more I think about it, the more I think y'all are right. I think it was intentional that they were supposed to not really fit very well, especially once it becomes the other guy's double and all that shit. And if you're not paying attention, you could not even realize that's what's going on. So then you would really wonder what's going on. But
yeah, because even that one scene that they're together, and it's that those two actual characters, there's already a tension there because they already, she's already cheated on him. So
all right, well, we've kind of explained what happens in the first half of the movie.
Yeah. I'm
going to ask you guys to help me explain the second half, because while I understand, I'd say even half of the second half, the last quarter of the movie, there's a lot that I don't understand, or that I think I might understand, but I don't want to sound like a complete moron explaining it. So I'd like some help explaining it so that I can make sure that I know I'm right, but we get the right message out to the people watching the video.
Yeah, I think it is a pretty ambiguous ending, so it's not supposed to be 100% explained.
Okay.
I mean, you could explain, I think, what's on the surface of, like what literally happens on screen at the end.
Okay.
But, the whys and the mechanics of it. I mean, I don't think that's explainable. I think that's purposely left unexplained. But I mean, they explain that the shimmer just messes with everything's biology. It's
so what they said
DNA.
in the movie, I'm sorry.
I was like, from DNA to everything. So that's why you get all those like mismatched creatures. The shark, alligator, whatever it is in the beginning. And
what about the two twin deer? One was all decayed, and the one had like fucking forged like fucking trees coming out of his antlers. Like, it was weird. Well,
yeah.
they were saying it was more like a what's it called, when the prism? They're calling it a prism. And when the light was bouncing off, it was essentially sending DNA instead of light. It was like, if the light, I don't know how to explain this. If the light goes, if you're in there, then everything that reflects instead of like hitting me and it just being light reflecting off this material and you see the color, it was actually sending part of me to you. And so like I would end up being inside of a tree, and then me looking at the tree would send some of that inside of me, essentially, and then we would become part of each other. And it was even happening to animals and people turning it was, dude, it's complex. And if you read it really fast or you watch it really quick and you're not paying attention, you're going to get lost, because they say some things kind of quick and they don't really go back and talk about it. They just say this is what's going on, and then you have to be there to watch it. We had to pause it a couple times just to make sure we could pay attention, because the kids were wrapping up and going to bed. And I really enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, I like how they set it up, because even from the very first scene where like Natalie Portman's teaching the class, she's talking about the cell biology and like the replication of cells.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Man, they did do a good job of putting the ends together.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a mistake that she's a biologist in this movie.
Yeah,
all about merging biology and DNA.
I like on that movie Mars was it Martian with Matt Damon?
Yeah,
Martian.
And he's like, man, I got to figure out how to get food. Blah blah blah. He's like, turns out I'm a botanist. And I'm like, oh, see what you did there, guys.
Yeah,
he couldn't have been like a felon in doing that. He would have died. But
he wouldn't have been on Mars in the first place.
No, they would definitely send a felon to Mars. Get him out of here. But no, you're very right. He would have been on Mars because he's, a felon. But yeah, dude, I don't know what else to say about the movie, because there's a lot of it I still need to rewatch it another time or two. I really liked it, man. I think I'm falling deeper and deeper. I think that's my second favorite horror genre now is slasher, and then like cosmic / Lovecraftian, because everything that I'm watching that falls into that category, I'm fucking loving it, dude. The Mist, The Void, this movie here, Color Out of Space, those are some of my favorite movies, dude. Like period. And they all have a lot of those same themes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, very true.
So what exactly happens? I'll just ask, like, what exactly happens at the end of this movie? I don't really get it.
You mean the very end, or like the scene in the lighthouse?
The scene in the lighthouse is what I'm talking about.
Okay, so Jennifer Jason Leigh becomes like a puddle of matter and then transforms into into Natalie Portman's double, basically.
That was Jennifer Jason Leigh?
Yeah. You know, remember she it starts like spewing out of her mouth, and then she just becomes this like orb of like matter.
Dude, by the time she turned into Natalie Portman, I had forgotten that it was Jennifer Jason Leigh that did that.
Yeah.
Thank you, brain.
Just repurposing the matter from this other person, That's like
as she's doing that, they're like,
is.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Natalie Portman second.
Well, because she was dying of cancer, so she was like basically dying anyway. So it just dude, I wish they would have been anything but cancer. I'm so tired of that being the trope. It's always somebody's got cancer, so they go put their life on the line. It's like, dude, can they not be somebody that's like perfectly healthy and then goes and puts their life on the line? That's a twist. Let's do that. Yes, but there's sort of a theme, because the shimmer basically is a tumor. It's like,
oh yeah, no. I just meant like in general, not necessarily this movie, but yeah, no. It fits more with this movie than it does in others. I mean, this one it made a little more sense at least, but it's a very common trope in movies, like any kind of movie, any kind of like disaster movie. The sick person always goes up to do whatever it is that's self-sacrifice, and they always have cancer, or sometimes leukemia, I guess. But and I was just being silly. But
yeah, but it is interesting though that like the shimmer is basically like the cancer on the world.
It's like Earth cancer.
It's like a malformed cell that's just like slowly spreading across the world.
It's like herpes for the world. Yay, Elton John records. Sorry, I kept kicking this box and I was like, what is in front of me? And I was like, oh, it's a record box. Let's see what's in it. But did either of y'all have, so this movie, it's kind of hard to pinpoint a particular scene in this movie and say, that's my favorite. even though I think we all kind of probably have them, but like the whole movie kind of needs to be watched in a whole. Like
Right.
I would find this movie really hard to pause and pick back up. It's not a super short movie by any stretch of the word, but it's also not super long. So like, I think I would have to just like, all right, am I going to watch this or not? Because I'm not going to sit down and watch half of it, because I would feel like I needed to go back and rewatch the first half again to make sure I remembered all the crap going on. Because it's one of those kind of, it's kind of a meticulous movie. Like you need to know what's happening. You need to follow it. Hell, man, this is the kind of movie you put subtitles on sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Do you have an explanation for the end, Chris? Like,
I mean,
Hemorrhoids.
you were pretty much going there. That, yeah. I mean, just Jennifer Jason Leigh is repurposed into Natalie Portman, and I mean, she is mimicking everything that the real Natalie Portman is doing, and she kind of like tricks the
yeah.
whatever it is to take in one of those. I think it's like a phosphorus grenade, actually. And
Oh, phosphorus. Didn't they call it a flash grenade?
I think they used the word phosphorus.
Oh,
think so,
shit.
too.
They might have.
Could be making that up, but I think
Tomato phosphorus. You know.
so. But no, I mean, but I think it's left a little questionable. I don't really think so, but seems to be that it's a question of whether the real Natalie Portman, survives, or if the cloned one survives and
So,
escapes the lighthouse.
I didn't feel like they left it. Sorry.
I don't feel like that's really the question. I feel like I watched some stuff on YouTube trying to explain this movie, and I
What?
feel like
You did
feel like-
research?
and I feel like they kind of like missed the point there, because I don't think that, because we see that the clone is burned up.
Yes, I agree.
That's not ambiguous.
Not just that, but she drank the water and there was no blood in it. And I feel like that was like the answer. Like this is a fun. Here's your answer to that question. In case you were wondering.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, because I think people are reading a little bit too much into it instead of just taking what you're seeing on the screen.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that's pretty clear that the clone is dead. But I think it's kind of saying that, you know, anything that anyone or anything that goes in there is changed. Like she is changed.
That's what I was
For
gonna
sure.
say. Because her eyes do shine at the end.
Yeah,
I think
both of them.
I think some people are saying that it means that she's the clone, but I don't think that. I think she's
No.
just.
No, I feel
her-
like that there was just part of the shimmer inside of her still.
yeah, even
More
though
so that she was the clone.
Well, her DNA is like irreversibly changed from being inside there. And I
yeah,
think it's kind of saying that, like, really, like, ultimately, what is the difference? They're both just DNA creatures. Like, you know, if it was the clone or it wasn't, like, they're both kind of like all.
They're basically saying like
Woven.
it's the same person regardless, because if this other
Yeah.
person
Sort
is
of,
not
yeah, because
if the clone doesn't exist, or if it does, if the clone's what is really, if the clone is what you're looking at and she's gone, then that's her, because that's like
Yeah.
there's only one of them that came out of it, and it's which one it is, it's still her, which I find that's a debate you could have.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. It's really complex and hard to explain, but like,
Dude,
because
I'm not smart enough for this shit, dude.
Oscar Isaac is not like an evil character, like the clone of Oscar Isaac. Like, you don't see him as some like sinister alien that's trying to escape or
No,
something.
he didn't do anything like
I think kind of like in The Thing, like the creature is just trying to survive. It's not.
How
trying
weird is
to-
that even in the thing, the creature's not really a bad guy. It just
Yeah.
happens to be the antagonist of the story.
That's why I don't really like the prequel, because it actually like comes out and attacks people. But in the movie, it's only attacked when it's provoked. It's like it's just trying to hide and survive.
I need to watch the prequel again. I love that movie.
But
No, I don't really love it, but I like it okay.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, and this is just, you know, whatever alien matter came down and
I like that it
hit
wasn't
that.
what's the word, man? Like it wasn't doing anything like to cause any trouble. It was just kind of like, yo, I'm just trying to know. I was just here for lunch. Like,
Yeah.
all right, wait. Oh, I'm the back. Oh, you're murdering me. Okay, what did I do again? I walked up and said hello. Okay, just make it.
Right.
Like,
Well,
yeah, I like that. I like that you can have an antagonist that's not the bad guy. That actually makes it even more complex, because then you can't justify trying to get rid of it. Like, why? What's it doing to you?
yeah,
It's a whole other level of complication in a story like this.
Yeah, like the end with her coming back out of it mirrors a lot the beginning when he comes out of it, and their demeanors are like kind of the same. So I think people are also reading a little bit too much into that, assuming that, oh, like he's acting like this in the beginning of the movie, she's acting like this at the end of the movie, that, you know, she must be the clone.
Don't people have any common sense that the filmmakers did that on purpose so that they would think that? So that obviously means that's not the case. Like,
yeah, well, there's also a line whenever she's talking to him in the beginning of the movie after coming out, and basically all his answers are I don't know. Yeah. And then he says something like, oh, well, why does that matter? Like, that's also kind of the point of the movie. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does it matter who's what?
I don't know. Yeah, I've liked all the creatures in this movie, the creature design and the world creation that they made, like the, what do you call that? The world building, I guess. I thought couldn't really have been improved much without making some insane, weird stuff that, because like all this stuff was strange, but it was explainable through the story. Like, it was like, okay, well, this fucking deer with the tree antlers, that exists because of what's going on, but they could have gone way left field with it and made it much harder to explain, and it might have looked a little cooler, but I think they did it pretty perfect, because they set you up for, well, everything makes sense up to a certain point, and I don't know, man, it's crazy, because we're all still kind of confused a little bit about some things, but the movie does make a lot of sense. I don't know, it's a complex story about written about a subject that I don't personally have a lot of knowledge on, so I either can enjoy it or not. I really like this one a lot, as I've said a few times already, but anybody have anything else to say about this particular film?
Not really. This is very similar to another movie. What's the guy's name? Andrei Tarkovsky. Movie called Stalker. I think it's from the early 70s. That's just
familiar with that one.
It's guy goes into a like mysterious unknown area to explore it. It's a little different, you know, it doesn't go as far into the, you know, the monsters and the, you know, they don't really show a lot of things in it. It's basically just them exploring this area.
Okay.
But it's, you know, kind of a similar plot, and it's a really good movie. It's just,
I mean, if it's a similar plot to this and made in a different era, I would love to watch it just to compare the two. I mean, I don't want to sit here and, you know, suck this movie's cock, but like, it's just a quality film, man. I mean, you get a lot of movies. There's movies that are way better than this, but there are very often movies that just miss the mark, especially on sci-fi stuff, because you can get super wonky and like kind of campy without even meaning to, or you can just make it so fucking complex that nobody understands it. I mean, look, I don't mean to bag on one of your films that you really like, but like Interstellar, to me, I can't enjoy like I do this one, because this is a movie that's really complex, but they only make it so complex, whereas Interstellar it just keeps going and going and going, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, like, but I want to like Interstellar. Like, I like the people in it, I like the director and all that shit, but like, this is the kind of sci-fi movie that I can understand it a lot better, so I enjoyed it. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. But like, they stopped when they got to a point of like, okay, if we keep going with this and it gets a whole lot more complex, a good portion of our audience may still enjoy it, but they're not going to understand it. And you know, I think Christopher Nolan really likes to make things really complex. Like, even his Batman movies were pretty complex when you looked at all the shit that was going on in them. So, you know, to each their own. I'm not talking shit on Christopher Nolan. He's awesome, but like, that movie's hard for me to like enjoy. I want this beautiful visually. It's great acting. There's parts in it where I'm like, I just don't get it, you know? And so I thought it was cool that in a movie like this, they kind of pump the brakes a little bit, you know.
Well, I seem to remember before this movie came out, like Alex Garland saying that they wanted him to dumb down the movie. And I don't know if they filmed or like they had another ending to the movie that was a little bit more, you know, mainstream, straightforward, whatever you want to call it. And like they push back and kept it as they have it.
Interesting.
Yep.
Hey, give me 20 seconds. I have to hit the men's room. I've been sitting here like moving around for like 20 minutes. I'll be back in 1 second, guys.
Okay. Was there something you wanted to say a second ago?
I mean, I was just gonna piggyback off of what he said about the design, because one of my favorite scenes is when they go when they're in the like base camp and they go down into that drained pool and the guy's like ripped apart and he's like half his body is like way up on the wall and it's like got all this like crazy fungus and mold and colorful stuff everywhere. It's like just so cool and weird and disturbing.
It's very The Thing, like it's like grown into the wall and like morphed into this other like weird thing, but a little more colorful, so it's prettier than The Thing, I guess, but but still very Thing-like. Definitely.
It's just cool. They just spent a lot of time on the design. I really appreciated that.
That was satisfying.
That was quick.
Huh?
That was quick.
I don't have to sit when I pee.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it's out of my butt. Diarrhea jokes, everyone. That was awesome. Josh is like, oh, fucking grow up, you 40-year-old child.
We were trying to have a serious conversation while you were gone.
Yeah, we had a really good conversation for about 20 seconds and then diarrhea.
Well, I think we've kind of exhausted the conversation on this particular movie. Let's grade it. Anybody have a grade for it? I have one that I think it's probably about an 8 for me. Like just super solid. It might even be built better than that, but I usually grade it on enjoyment, so I'm gonna stick with 8. 8's good. It's a pretty high grade. I think it deserves it.
Yep, 9.
No shit, huh?
Yeah.
Mine's, dude, I was thinking 8.5 for a minute, but I think I'm gonna stick with 8 because it's the stupidest reason, but it's got to be Natalie Portman, dude. She's a great actor. I'm not saying she's not, but I just something about. Well, hello, Pedro. Something about her performance in this it just made me kind of sad. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. 8 or better. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, also a 9.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. This was my second time watching it, I think, and I really enjoyed it this. I mean, I liked it the first time, but I really enjoyed it this time.
Well, I'm gonna leave mine open for an additional grading if I watch it again in the next few months because I was pretty confident y'all were both gonna say 8. But if you both said 9, maybe I just need to rewatch it again. I really like it though. Like, you know what I don't remember about it though is I don't remember anything about the sound. Like, how was the sound?
Oh, that was another thing I was gonna bring up, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I really liked the score.
So there was a pretty good score there, man. For some reason, it didn't even register with me, dude.
It's very different than a normal sci-fi score. That's why I wanted to bring. I was thinking about it because there's a lot of like acoustic guitar. It's very different than like your like sort of very digital or bombastic like a Hans Zimmer score or something like that.
Okay.
You get from in a Nolan movie. It's very like sort of folky for like the first half, and then it like kind of as the movie goes on and everything starts to change, the score starts to change and it becomes this like really like bass heavy, like more digital.
Next time I watch it, I'll make a point and like pay attention to the score. Next time I watch it, I might watch it in here so that I have surround sound because I don't know. I mean, I want to enjoy the same things y'all are enjoying. I know we don't agree on everything about movies, but if you're really enjoying a part of it, I'd like to at least give it a shot. And if the score is good, I want to pay attention and hear it.
I just love this sort of stuff that makes me think about it afterwards. I'm like trying to piece things together and like what were the little clues that led to that, you know, early in the movie, and like replaying it in my mind. I love doing that.
I don't know what my brain is. I won't say missing because I don't think it's missing anything, but I don't know why it puts together things so much different, man. Like when I'm watching a movie, that never crosses my mind. Like I'm either like, okay.
Because you're thinking about diarrhea.
I mean, pretty much. Usually I'm just like, okay, is this going to happen right now or can I make it to the bathroom? Usually I have a popcorn bucket. I'm good. But no, like I'll be sitting there and I'm thinking like, okay, I'll be trying to figure out what's going to happen, or I'm like wrapped up in what's going on right now. And I don't think about like, I don't know, man. It's very strange how I ingest a movie so much different than you specifically. And I think even more different than what Chris does. So it's not a good or bad thing. It's just a difference in it. It's very strange. Not to just jump subjects real quick, but I was listening to John Coltrane earlier today, and I think jazz is going to be like my film score. Like you listen to scores while you're doing things and it calms you down. I think because I've been listening to jazz at night a lot recently. I just discovered I've listened to jazz before. I'm not like completely like this isn't like the first time I've ever heard jazz, but it's the first time I ever sat down and consciously listened to like a whole entire record. And
Okay.
I was talking to Chris Hood. I said, I think I know why I like this. And she's like, why? And I said, think about all the books in a lot of the movies that I watch. What are they all revolved around? And she's like, I don't know. And I said, they're all crime stuff, but it's all from way back when. All the books I read that are on Audible, they all have a jazz background. I listened to that shit. I watch movies with it. It's all around me. I just didn't realize that I was starting to like it because I wasn't thinking about the movies having jazz in them. I was just watching the movie or listening to the book and not thinking about the music in the background. So when I hear it, it naturally hits the same notes. Like, because when I was listening to that Coltrane, all I kept thinking about was like tough guy detectives, like bad, like
hard-boiled.
Yeah,
vampires.
like anti-hero.
Massey.
Yeah, like anti-hero detectives that drink too much and beat their wives and all that
Slapping
stuff.
dames.
What?
Slapping dames.
Right? I kept thinking of Sin City, but I think I'm about to get in a real bad situation because I'm like deep diving into this shit now. I don't have the money for this, man. Like,
oh yeah, jazz is a whole other world.
yeah, but I found a few artists that I really like, and I'm gonna stick with those guys and just. I mean, I listened to 4 records the other day in one day, and I couldn't have told you what was what because it all sounds the same to me right now.
Yeah.
As I listen to more of it, that'll change. But right now, it's either going to have heavy piano or heavy, brass, and then that's how I distinguish what's what. I'm like, okay, no, that was the one with all the piano. Oh, no, this is the one with all the saxophone. Like, in a couple of months, probably I'll be able to tell you probably at least kind of what's what. Not with a lot of knowledge or anything, but. I'm really enjoying it. It's helping me get work done, man. I didn't know that would happen for me. I've never listened to music while I've done anything because I always listen to music with lyrics in it, and it would fuck with me, and I couldn't concentrate. And I got a lot of work done the other night, and I think I could attribute a lot of it to being able to relax because of the music that was on. But yeah, I need to get a subwoofer for this room so I can have like the full. I want to have some. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was. I've been listening to a lot of different music lately. It's kind of blown my mind that I like any of it.
Well, that's good.
All my viewers are gonna be like, God damn it! Would you stop listening to weird fucking jazz from New Orleans in 1938? Like, I don't want to hear this.
All your 15-year-old subscribers are pissed off.
Well, they can go somewhere else if they got to. At this point, dude. If I can just keep doing what I'm doing with my paintings in my little shop, I'm just cultivating my channel to what I like now. I've given up trying to please people because the people are just so selfish and shitty anyways. And if you're watching this at this point in the video, I am clearly not talking about you. So,
yeah, all the 15-year-olds have already clicked off.
15-year-olds never clicked on, sir.
Yeah.
They're like, no little peep, I'm out of here.
But his shirt has Lil Peep. Maybe they'll talk about Lil Peep at some point.
Oh, you know what? That's funny. They're gonna get mad at me. I'm kind of starting to avoid artists. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Keep
Sharpening a pencil.
I'm trying to. I'm avoiding artists that have like extreme fandoms a little bit right now. Like I'm moving on to like. I say that, but the last song I did was like that Tool and Deftones thing.
Yeah,
but that was like. That was a request a while back that I told the person I would consider, and I just felt like, okay, they don't ask me a lot of favors. I've never heard this song. That's an interesting choice. I'll check it out. I didn't like it. I don't think it's good. Objectively, it's well made. That was my stance on it. I don't have anything else to say about it. Yeah. But
I was just gonna say, wait till you piss off all the jazz heads,
bro. I already know that I'm not gonna do that. If I got something negative to say, I'm not going to say it. Right now, I'm really enjoying that genre of music. I don't want to hate it because I'm a bunch of assholes. But I have two... do what?
I was just saying you're going to listen to a bunch of jazz and Lorna Shore.
Oh, God. No, dude, that shit was terrible. Like, dude, look, I'm a nice guy, so I'm not trying to just, like, bag on these bands. Look, dude, most of the people aren't going to like the stuff that I like, and I know that, so I don't want to just shit on a band. I did it when I first started the channel, and I'll be honest, dude, that's the only thing that I regret. I wish I had never done that. Not because of any kind of embarrassment, or not because that's not really what I stand for, and I knew that when I was doing it. Y'all know I'm a kind of abrasive and constantly joking type of dude, but I'm a nice person, man. I'm not the kind of guy that just starts trouble. Like I haven't done that shit in 2 decades, man. It's not really it's not my personality. I'm black and white, hot and cold. There's no medium, but like I don't intentionally just try to piss people off.
Yeah.
No, except you guys, maybe Josh. But like
yeah, I would be absolutely shocked if you started buying Lorna Shore records.
If I start buying Lorna Shore records, please check out Wherever the Shimmer's Out in Texas. Because clearly I'm a fucking clone, and you need to take care of my family. I mean, they're not bad. I just don't like that kind of music.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that you just didn't go. 5 seconds.
Well, dude, I mean, it's been so long since I've heard anything except fucking Lil Peep and Juice WRLD, which is funny because I truly and genuinely like those artists. I really do. But dude, I don't listen to Rancid every day, and that is far and away my favorite band.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear something every fucking day, and then hear something about it every day, and then they never want to just talk about it. They want to be like, no, I'm right, you're wrong, and this is why. Like, no, dude, you guys are acting like children because you are children. So I'm gonna go over here and act like an adult because I am one. So,
man,
well, yeah, man.
The thing that always makes me mad is I'll click on one of your other videos. Like the jazz video, and then they got people, commenting nothing about the video itself, but just asking you to react to other Lil Peep songs. And I'm just
if that makes you mad, just imagine how pissed off it makes me.
I know. I look at it, I'm like, fuck off, bro. And I know Randall's got to be just like furious.
I mean, do you see my comments on them? They're always pretty snarky.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be rude, but it's like, man, there is a place for you guys to ask me this question. Just wait one more video. I always do 1 and 1. I'll do one of this and then one of the one that I know everybody's gonna like. I always, because I'm not an idiot. I also want to please my audience. I'm not stupid, but I also want to do something for like me and my friends and stuff. I do plenty of content, man. You guys can't just be patient. And then on the hey, have you heard Teenagers by My Chemical Romance? I'm like, that doesn't sound like jazz. He's like, I didn't say it did. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't say that.
Also, you must be 15 if you're asking if you've heard Teenagers by My Chemical Romance. Oh my God. I mean,
hey, yes. What's wrong with My Chemical Romance?
Do what?
No, nothing. No, nothing. I mean, we're all old enough to remember when that song came on the radio.
Yeah.
I was a manager at Hot Topic when that song came out, and I assure you, I've heard it at least 500
million times.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. How could you not have heard that song?
Yeah, bro. Like that was on our playlist every day, and I like that song. That song's good. The thing is,
I like My Chemical Romance.
No, I like My Chemical Romance, and that's not my style of music.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that I like them, to be honest, because I'm not orchestrated like emo music guy, but I like them a lot. I like Hawthorne Heights a lot too. You know what? I think even more irritating than the little peep comments in a jazz video is whenever they go, hey, would you check out this song? And it's one that I damn sure already have done.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, do not ask me to do a song until you've at least checked to see if I did it on an artist that you know that I cover all the time. Like, that is so fucking annoying. But, you know, it's all these kids, they don't really, I think what upsets me is that they all act as though they really care about me and my channel. But if I was to say one thing that they didn't like, they would flip that script so fast that my head would spin. And it's like, dude, you don't really care about me and my channel. You only like what I'm doing because I'm reinforcing your opinions on stuff that you like. And that's okay. But don't act like we're friends and that you have my back, because when shit really comes down, Josh and Chris have my back. That's what I can count on. I don't count on anything else. Maybe Torrin, she's a good people. Jamie Smith's cool. Like, Danny, he's cool. But like, that's a small group of people out of 17,000 subscribers, you know? I mean, how can you tell me you have my back when I put out a video and it gets 78 views and I got 17,000 subscribers? It doesn't make sense, because you're not here for me. You're here for Lil Pete.
Yeah.
You know, this is why I'm saying this shit. I probably shouldn't even say it, but I'm fully like ready emotionally to lose 10,000 subscribers and be able to do shit that I like better. It is what it is, man. Like, if I can get 500 monetized views versus 5,000 non-monetized, why wouldn't I want to do that? Like,
yeah,
they don't care about me. They're not, you know, Stony, that's good people, man. He's there with me every weekend. Dude tips me, and he's a Patreon member. Dude, that's good people, man. He's cool. He always comes up with, he messages me, hey, do you care if I recommend this? He doesn't even do, I told him, dude, you pick, you're the one paying for it, man. Anything you want. He's like, well, I don't want to put you through some shit you don't really like a lot, or that you know you don't like. I'm like, even if, bro, it's your pick. You've paid. And he's like, he's just a nice dude.
Yeah.
And
you definitely have some loyal people that I see comment on like varieties of videos.
No, dude, that's why I keep going, bro, because I got some awesome people that I've met through this, and I'm not really actually complaining. I'm just bitching a little bit. Overall, dude, I'm living the dream, bro. I'm not really tripping. But it's if I had to, you know, if I had something I could change, that would be it. You know, like if I make a video about a metal band, don't ask me about 3 6 Mafia. Like, please stop doing that. It's just rude to the people I'm covering. Like, I'm covering this band, and then you're gonna go ask me about, like, that tells me you didn't even watch my video.
Yeah.
Then what do I care? Why would I? It makes me not want to do their request, and it makes me mad because it's almost always a request that I was either gonna do already or that I like. And I'm like, would you just do it the right? Well, and then they always follow up with like, oh, I'm putting you in the algorithm. I don't need the algorithm that bad, dude. Like, I would like maybe I'm just an old stubborn idiot, but like, I don't need your help that bad. Like, if you want to be cool and help move things along, recommend something or ask a question, dude, like about the music. You know, and then I do a whole album review, which took me 2 freaking days. And, you know, like, I feel like that review is pretty solid. I don't know if you guys watched it or not, but like, I feel like I did a decent job. I'm still new at that sort of thing, but I thought it was pretty good, you know, for as much as I actually wasn't able to accomplish, because I can only put clips in it and stuff. So
the Limp Bizkit one, right?
Yeah.
I'll watch that. Yeah.
Was it okay? I always think all my videos suck, so I have no idea if they're any good or not.
That was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
I feel like I was able to go back and like recall some things that were good about it, and, you know, recite some tracks that were good, you know, without. But yeah, I wish more people would just watch it. I don't need anything else. Just watch the videos I put out, and I'll keep putting out ones that they like, because I like making them happy. Why wouldn't I do that? The whole idea is to make everybody have a good time. That's the only reason I do this. But I just get, I don't know. I think I get put off by these uber fandoms. I don't really like it. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and there's gonna be like that same thing with jazz. There's that same thing with metal bands and stuff. I don't understand it. Like, why are people bothered by, like, and they always feel the need to tell me when they don't agree. Like, they always do that. And I'm sure they do it on your videos too. They're like, yeah, I really like you, but you're wrong, dude. Like, or yeah, you're a really cool guy, but your opinion's stupid. Like, all right, I guess. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Oh, fucking Lorna Shore. Where did I even get that band from? I have no idea where I got that request from.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody requested it to you.
Yeah, because I was looking at the name and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'll check it out. I should have. Yeah, whatever. Anyways,
it was just
who's
funny.
picking the movie this week? Josh, or is it you or Chris?
I don't know.
It's Josh.
My turn. Yeah. Because you had what was the name of the
I had the last one on
Catherine Bigelow movie? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Near Dark. No. The other Catherine Bigelow movie.
Yeah. What's the freaking name of it? The one with Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That one.
Yeah. So, this is the only Coen Brothers movie that I have never seen. It's got Billy Bob Thornton, Frances McDormand, Tony Shalhoub, and
All their movies do.
and James Gandolfini. And it's called The Man Who Wasn't There.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that either.
And it is a legit, all of their movies have noir in them, but this is like supposed to be their legit noir. It's in black and white, takes place in the 40s, so it's like a classic film noir.
No.
And I've heard it's really good. But it's one of those ones that never shows up anywhere, so I've never just gone out of my way to watch it. But I watched Nightmare. I watched Nightmare Owl the other day, and I was like, man, I really been wanting to watch that Coen Brothers movie. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I might have this movie, but I know I've seen it.
yeah, he's like a barber.
Yeah, I can't remember if I have it. If I do, it's a DVD though. I might have it at the store. But as soon as I saw the cover, I was like, oh yeah, I know this movie. Yeah, I like Billy Bob Thornton a lot. So I mean, this dude's the Coen Brothers. I'm fucking down with this. This shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's a good pick. I thought you were gonna go Drive Miss Daisy, but what do I know?
No, that movie sucks.
You know what? I wish if anybody's still watching this, and you're hearing me complain about stuff, please understand that I don't actually care. Like, I'm not complaining because I think about it all the time. Like, I'm just venting. People take it so personally when do what?
They'll just comment with their little peep requests on this video anyway.
Right? Like, there you go, motherfucker. I'm like, algorithm, thank you. But like, I don't actually like this stuff. Doesn't actually really bother me. It frustrates me in the moment, and then I'm over it because y'all aren't gonna change. I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna keep making videos anyways. I'm glad you're watching. I appreciate it, and I just wanted to make that very clear. People assume that we're very far in age, I would imagine, so our generations are just different. I'm able to be like, man, this is stupid, blah blah blah, and then whatever. I go about my business. I do what I'm supposed to do because that's my job. It's okay. You can comment whatever you want in my videos. It's not going to really bother me. I'm not going to block you unless you're being mean or like bullying somebody. I don't have any time for that. But you can comment your little peep stuff. I'm not really going to be hating on you. I just don't really get it, I guess. But
I'll say more just making observation, really.
Yeah, no, I don't want people to get upset thinking that I'm being a prick because I get called why are you treating people like that? You can't treat your viewers like that. I'm like, what did I do? Like, anything that I do that's actually mean is warranted. Like, I don't act like that for no reason. So like, if I'm actually being rude, I don't care if you agree because you deserve it. But I don't feel like I say anything really rude often. I get told almost every day, like, oh, I see you online always commenting back and you're always so upset about something. I'm like, I'm not upset about it. Like, you just think I'm upset. Like, why?
Yeah.
I think you want me to be upset.
Very hard to read tone through text. So
it's impossible unless you put like all caps, which then it's just annoying. But yeah, dude, like
unless you put LOL at the end of everything. So you're
yeah, I do that a lot, so people know I'm not talking shit.
Yeah, it is a thing.
It's so dumb though. I mean, I don't know. Even if I did get upset, why do they care? Like, I don't get anybody, man. Whatever. I'm old. I'm out. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, if you didn't, not surprised. There's been a lot of just talking about nothing. Have a good day, everybody. Peace.